All right, so we've sort of gone through the sound side of things, and now let's look at sequencing and scenes, song mode, and what that all looks like. So I also was sick of the sounds that we were working with before, so I just sort of started wanted to do something else. I don't know. I mean, it's not my best work, but it's something different. Now, sequences, really straightforward. When you're in the track, you create a new sequence, you hit record. It's like, I'll show you, but we're just going to look at the screen here. And we've got, in this event screen, this is where you can actually drag and highlight, and you can zoom in, but you can select your notes that you've plugged in there, and then you can change the end point of that, or sorry, the start point, because if we're over here. So if we select that, we can change the start point. This is when you've selected multiple things, you can toggle between the events. And then you can change the length of your friends and this universal velocity right there. And then there's also probability in there. All right, on the sequence side, you have the quantized size amount. That is what you're going to be locked into. Your step length is actually the speed at which you're going through the sequence. What does that look like? Well, let's push play. I'm going to launch this sequence, sorry. And then look in here. So if I change my step length to eighths, you're looking at it going much slower. If I go down to half, it is just going to drag its little feet. And that is super helpful when you want to have shorter sequences instead of 64 steps. You know, this could have been 8 steps, but then slowed down to whatever you wanted it to. You can go all the way down to 2 bars per, and that is slow, but it's very cool. And so let's go back up to 16. So this is pretty straightforward territory for anyone that's ever used a sequencer or a DAW or anything. This is not unfamiliar territory. This new function, undo, gotta love that. Simple, but we can copy. Oh, I can actually select that, hit clear, but then we can copy events, paste them, rename the whole sequence. You know, I could, just move stuff around. If I select these and hit duplicate, it'll duplicate the whole thing, which is a little more convenient for like drum patterns and stuff. All right, so this sequence page, pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. The way that song mode works is pretty cool, and I haven't seen any sequencer do it this way yet. It's usually been like, choose your thing, and this is a visual way of building a song mode that actually feels a little more playful. So good job, 1010. The way we choose our song here, or I said that wrong. A song is comprised of 8 scenes. A scene can be comprised of 8 sequences. Song, scene, sequence, with 8s floating around. And the way we build a sequence is when you're on the song screen, you've chosen one of these, and you can also use these buttons to jump around, but you've chosen scene 1. Then you click your scene button. And here is where you can choose. All you got to do is just tap it. And you see a white box show up around them. Who you want in scene 1. Now we go back to song mode. Look. Boop. Now let's go here. And what's cool is we can also go copy and paste scene if we know we're going to keep those parts going, right? So let's add and let's go back to scene. We are on scene 2 now, but you will notice that it took the name scene 1, so you can rename stuff later. But let's add the sub bass, okay? Great. Let's go back into song. Then I'm going to just copy this again. Copy, paste. Let's go scene. Let's jump over to this guy, add this piano, back to song. I'm going to copy scene, paste it here. And then just final drums, this little thing, done. Is this a real song? No. Is it a good example? No. But will it get us anywhere? I don't know. But let's just see what we've done here. Also, should explain that there is at the top something called scene hold, which means while you're riffing with your fans, instead of it playing through the song, you can actually just have it latch and loop on that section. As well as song loop means that the song will start over when it's done. But there's this thing called play count. Now, play count, you decide how many times you want these parts to run through. See a little number up top? 2 times. Great, little intro. If I push song right here and push play, it's going to play that twice and then each of these 1 time. For the interest of time, we're just going to do this. I mean, in real time, I do not like this song. I don't like how it sounds. But that's fine. Do I have to continue to play the song? I don't know. Do you need to hear it a little more? I don't know. Is this good? Is this going to be a good video? But hey, song mode. Let's look at what it looks like, You can rename the scenes, right? We're in the scene, whatever. Now, that song, the fun comes around with the launch screen, which, I guess we do have to hear this again. We're going to just turn off song mode. They give you a little song mode button there so that you can sort of be in this active launch mode, kind of like Ableton when you hit tab and you're like, oh, I'm in session, and then I'm in arranger. But let's start with drum. And I can do the bass, the drum. We'll even add the other drum part. Turn it off. Okay. And we'll just do these flutes and the drum. That's it. You just bounce around. Play that live. You get to fill it up. I'm not even using all the tracks. All right? Song mode, scenes, sequences, launch screen. Guys, I think I've flooded you with enough information. Thank you for being here. If you've made it this far, whoa. Good job. All right, everybody. I'm not going to play this song out for us because I'm going to delete it. You guys are the best. See you soon.